Rain poured over the city like the sky had finally given up, washing neon lights into blurred rivers across the pavement. Ethan Cole stood beneath the marble awning of his towering penthouse building, adjusting the cuffs of his tailored coat, his driver waiting nearby with the engine running. At just 32, Ethan was the kind of millionaire magazines loved, self-made, sharp-minded, and impossibly composed. His tech empire had risen faster than anyone predicted, and his life now revolved around boardrooms, interviews, and charity galas where cameras flashed like restless stars. But that night, as thunder cracked across the skyline, something unexpected caught his attention. Across the street, curled beneath a flickering street lamp, sat a young woman in soaked, tattered clothes. She couldn't have been more than 25. Her blonde hair clung to her face, her shoulders trembling against the cold. People hurried past her as if she were invisible. Ethan had seen poverty before, he donated millions every year, but witnessing it this close felt different. Personal. Uncomfortable. Real. For reasons he couldn't explain, he stepped away from the safety of his entrance and crossed the rain-slick street. The woman looked up warily as his polished shoes stopped in front of her. Her eyes were striking, clear, intelligent, not broken the way despair usually makes them. "Are you okay?" he asked, offering his coat without thinking. She hesitated before accepting it, her fingers shaking. "I just need somewhere warm," she replied softly. Her voice carried dignity despite her condition. Ethan glanced at the storm growing worse and made a decision that shocked even him. "You can come upstairs. Just to dry off. Take a shower. Have something to eat." She studied him carefully, as though weighing the risk. Finally, she nodded. Minutes later, she stood inside his penthouse, dripping rainwater onto polished marble floors that reflected crystal chandeliers. The contrast between her fragile appearance and the luxury around her was almost surreal. Ethan handed her a fresh towel and a simple white robe from the guest suite. "The bathroom's through there," he said gently. "Take your time." As the door closed behind her, Ethan poured himself a glass of water, trying to calm the strange anticipation building in his chest. He wasn't naive, bringing a stranger home was risky. But something about her presence felt different. Honest. Steam soon curled beneath the bathroom door as hot water ran. Ethan found himself pacing, wondering about her story. How had someone so young ended up on the streets? Was she running from something? Or someone? The rain outside intensified, tapping aggressively against the windows as if echoing his thoughts. Nearly 40 minutes passed before the bathroom door finally clicked open. And then he saw her. She stepped out slowly, her hair now clean and falling in soft waves around her shoulders, her posture straighter, her eyes no longer dulled by exhaustion. The transformation was stunning, not because of makeup or glamour, but because the woman standing before him radiated quiet strength. She looked refined. Educated. Confident. Not like someone defeated by life. Ethan's breath caught, not out of desire, but confusion. This wasn't adding up. She carried herself like someone who belonged in boardrooms, not back alleys. "Thank you," she said calmly, tying the robe belt. "You didn't have to do that." Ethan studied her more closely. "You don't seem like someone who's homeless," he admitted carefully. A faint smile touched her lips. "Appearances can be misleading." She walked toward the large window overlooking the city. Lightning briefly illuminated her face, and for a second, Ethan noticed something else, an expensive-looking pendant resting against her collarbone, something she must have kept hidden beneath her soaked clothes. His businessman instincts sharpened. "Who are you?" he asked quietly. She turned, and the vulnerability in her eyes shifted into resolve. "My name is Isabella Laurent." The name hit him like thunder. Laurent Industries was one of the largest global investment corporations in the world. Headlines had recently exploded with rumors that the Billionaire founder's only daughter had disappeared after refusing an arranged corporate marriage meant to secure a massive merger. Security teams had searched for weeks. Ethan's pulse quickened. That Isabella Laurent." She nodded slowly. "I needed to know who would help me without knowing who I was. Who would see me as a person, not a business opportunity." She held his gaze steadily. "Tonight, you did." Silence filled the penthouse, thick with realization. Ethan felt shock ripple through him, not because she was wealthy, but because she had tested the world in the rawest way possible. She had chosen to walk away from privilege just to measure humanity. "You could have been in danger," he said. "I was," she replied honestly. "But I learned something priceless." Her eyes softened. Not everyone measures worth in money. Ethan exhaled slowly, absorbing everything. The irony was almost poetic, a millionaire offering shelter to a homeless girl, only to discover she was wealthier than he could imagine. Yet in that moment, the numbers didn't matter. What mattered was the truth in her expression. "I didn't help you because of who you are," he said firmly. "I helped you because you needed it. And that," she whispered, "is why I'm not leaving just yet." Outside, the storm began to quiet, replaced by a gentle drizzle. The city lights shimmered like fresh possibilities. Two powerful worlds had collided, not in a boardroom, but in a moment of simple compassion. That night, they talked for hours, not about money, not about mergers, but about dreams, expectations, pressure, and freedom. Ethan realized how lonely success could be. Isabella admitted how suffocating legacy felt. In each other, they found something rare, understanding without agenda. By morning, news alerts buzzed across phones citywide. Isabella Laurent had been found safe. But the real story wasn't about a missing heiress. It was about a simple act of kindness that shattered assumptions. Sometimes, the greatest wealth isn't measured in billions, but in the courage to help someone when you think they have nothing to offer you in return. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that kindness can change destinies, make sure you subscribe to the channel and join our growing community. More powerful, life-changing stories are waiting for you, stories that inspire, surprise, and prove that humanity is still the greatest treasure of all.